Hello and welcome to the second episode of the survival series. In this episode, we're going to be doing a couple of things. Exactly what yet? I'm not sure. I did make a small list. We do have our agenda here. What's on the agenda? So I've got a couple of farms I want to make. The way that I want to do this is that I want to build farms in a semi-specific kind of order. So if I want to build a wood farm, I'm not going to build a wood farm. Let me sleep. As I was saying, if I'm going to build a wood farm, I will not build a wood farm because I don't have a slime farm. I'm not just going to go kill some slimes so that I can build a part of a farm. I'd rather build the slime farm and then spend less time farming slimes out in the middle of nowhere and just build the wood farm. So if that makes any sense, we're going to build a honeycomb and slime farm, a honey bottle as well, so that we can make honey blocks. And I kind of want to work our way up to where we can build farms for components to other bigger farms. For the rest of the agenda, we have our infrastructure for the day. I don't want to just do farms. I think that's kind of boring. I am going to decorate them to the best of my ability. Sorry, guy. However, one thing that I have on my bucket list before we end up building some big base is I want to re-envision this village. So I want to take the houses down and modify them. I don't want to build some crazy giant city, but I want to build my own village and also potentially repopulate it. I think that could be really cool. We do have a guy in here. This is a nitwit in here. He will be a part of the breeder, and then I'll take one of our other guys there. Everyone else is dead, which is why I don't know if it's going to be possible to keep the village populated. But that leads us to the rest of the list today. So paths, I want to get the path that I have in my base running through here, kind of clean up a lot of this. We got floating farms and stuff like that. And demolition. I'm not going to build anything today, but I am going to tear down maybe all of these houses. I don't see why I can't tear down every single one. I will mark them out so that we know they existed there, because I want to keep this somewhat similar. But yeah, the first thing we're going to work on is the honey farm, so let's get started on that. Something that I've been somewhat conflicted about is farms. So here's the thing, like my intention for the honey farm, I'm going to tear this out and build it somewhere in here, right? But the thing is this is not going to be our forever base. We're going to move out into our mega base, which we will remain in for probably forever. Obviously, I can't tell the future, but the idea is that we're going to build the honey farm in here. But so what? Are we just going to come back anytime we need honey? Yeah, I don't know. So either I build this and we stay here a while, and then once we build the mega base, I build another honey farm. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tear this out and plop it in here. And then I'll see you when I made some progress. All right, so we're done, sort of. Here she is. I obviously haven't decorated it yet, but it is completely and fully functional. I'll go ahead and make this a little quieter for you so you don't actually let me do this. Now you can't hear it at all. So, a little bit to unpack here. I am finished except for the fact that I am 90% sure that all of these hives are full or close to full, right? But I'm still breeding them and making sure that we get these all full for maximum efficiency. What are we looking at? That's not bad. I have also been emptying the honey bottles and stuff out, so this isn't like all that I've got, but for so far, it's pretty good. Let me actually show. Yeah, see, we've got a couple stacks of honey blocks. It's pretty good. And once we officially fill out the farm and let this thing run, it's going to be even better. If you don't recognize this, this is a design by Ianxofours. Yes, another build by him. I just can't help it. Everything he puts out is it's just too good. This is like a larger scale version of his design. Essentially what's happening here, so we all know the typical bee farm design. You've got your beehive, a comparator facing out of it, and a redstone signal that comes back around that when it reaches level 3, it harvests the honey, right? What's the problem with that? Why didn't we just go with that? Well, the problem is if you have a dispenser, you must completely fill it with empty bottles. If you do not do so, upon harvesting it, the honey bottle, it will stay in the dispenser instead of going down into the hopper or whatever you have going on here. So you must fill it up completely with items. That way the dispenser will shoot the glass bottle, or honey bottle rather, into the hopper and then into your storage. With this design, essentially what is happening here is all of the glass bottles, honeycombs, and the honey bottles are being sent around in a loop, checking every single hive if it's full or not. And if it's full, it's going to harvest it, send it into the hopper, and then go up through this chain all the way through. And then around the back here, I have 2 item filters set up that are pulling out the honeycombs and the honey bottles, sending them down this water stream over here and into these 2 rows of chests. Now, obviously, I just have to decorate it. And if you want to build this design, it's by Ianxofours. As I said, I'll hopefully link it in the description. And we just got to decorate it now. But before we do that, I think I want to go build the slime farm now. I'm still in a grindy mood, so yeah, let's go do that instead. Also, if you've noticed, yeah, I'm wearing golden pants. My diamond pants broke, and a lot of my armor is pretty close to death. So yeah, to help my tools, I've just been combining them. As you can see, I get efficiency 5, efficiency 5. I've just been combining tools to keep them alive, and that's what I'm gonna have to do here because I don't want my other stuff to break. I'm lucky the only thing broke was my pants because those only have like 2 enchantments on them. But if we wear golden pants, we're safe in the nether. So yeah, that's the deal with that. So we're gonna have to get mending books soon. Yeah, to the slime farm. I don't actually have any footage of me building the slime farm. I only have footage of like the aftermath of me AFKing there and slime spawning. So yeah, when you see the weird cut of me just going from let's build the farm to the farm being built and it's the aftermath, that's why. So yeah, enjoy the time lapse. Alright, so here's the slime farm. I have been AFK for, I don't know, like, probably like 18 hours. I left it overnight, and then I left it during the day. Left all my gear here. Okay, we got our gear. I'm gonna hop down, and we'll see what we're looking at. I'm a little nervous that it's not gonna be good. I don't think it is, but let's see. Bottom chest. Completely full. Okay, it was a little full last night. Completely full. Completely full. And half full. I was feeling good at first. That's not very good. You might look at this and think that's good. 1, 2, 3, 3.5 double chests of slime balls for like 18 hours of AFKing. That's not really that good. Now, if we look at this farm, there's a couple things you can see. It's got redstone torches in it. So like these are the things that I think we could change for the better. I think what could happen is you could essentially add another, right. As I was saying, I think what could happen is I could add another ring to this, so it would, or even just make it a box, like a rectangle going this way. Or even a square and add 3 segments to this, and it would quadruple, or triple it, I guess. I don't know if that would affect the rates. The tutorial I watched, I'll link it in the description. It wasn't that great, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't recommend it, but the farm itself isn't that bad. Now, other than expanding, the other thing that I think could change for the better is that there's redstone torches. The redstone torches are keeping it at a light level that is high enough so that no mobs spawn, but it's also low enough so that slimes can spawn. I'm certain you know that. If you don't, listen up. I'm teaching you something here. We could, in theory, replace these with brown mushrooms because they emit a light level of 1. I know I'm supposed to be teaching you, but I'm not really certain. I believe it's like 1. And if you scattered it around, nothing could spawn except for slimes. And the good thing is that the brown mushrooms do not make it so that nothing can spawn on that tile. Each one of these tiles with a redstone torch on it is a place that a slime cannot spawn. Furthermore, if we go inside here, if you come inside here, I imagine, so I think this is 11 right here. Not mean to screenshot. Yeah, so our light level right here is 11, which feels too high to me, and it's because of the campfires. I'm not certain if this is incorrect, but but this edge block is 11. So I don't think anything can spawn. It goes to 10 here. I don't know what light level we're looking at, but these emit a light level of 8, which I think is supposed to be perfect. So up until like this ring of 3 blocks, nothing can spawn. So you're already missing out on all of these blocks here in each and every single one of these redstone torches that it can't spawn on. So I think we'll probably have to either just scrap this and leave it, or modify it by expanding, pushing the campfires down, and replacing the redstone torches for brown mushrooms. I think that's what we need to do. But that's not my priority right now. I could care less, in all honesty. I have plenty of slime. I just don't want to be AFKing here every night anytime I need to do a big project that has slime balls in it. But this is plenty for right now. I'll take back a few stacks and just call it a day. I don't I don't need that much. Also, the hoppers are obviously full as well down there, which is only like gonna almost fill up this double chest right here. So yeah. Alright, if you remember the agenda, for our farms, we wanted to do a honeycomb farm / honey bottle farm, a slime farm, and potentially a villager breeder. Did not mean to sign that. Yeah, so we've done 2 of the 3 on the farms list, and then we have paths and demolition. So I do want to decorate this area at some point. This is going to be a staircase to go up and down. I'll leave this, but I'm going to do this path here and then this front, and then we'll see what happens here and here. I'm not sure. So it's not really going to be complete because it's hard to do when I have to go this way and this way. But yeah, back to the agenda. Paths and demolition. Before I go and decorate this area, I think I want to just tear out some of the village. If you can't tell, I have taken 2 builds down. I'm going to take them all down, mark out what they were and where they were. Obviously that's subject to change most likely. It's not guaranteed where we keep things, but I do want to take those out and mark a general area for most places before I end up actually building new houses and paths there. So we'll do demolition, then paths, then decorate. So after demolishing the buildings in the village, we're going to start decorating the bee farm. But obviously, I've got to get some resources for that. So yeah, we headed out and we gathered some resources. And of course, every time I go out, I find something that gets distracting. You know, speaking of distractions. Yeah, so we got distracted a little bit. And I also got a mule, which was really sweet because we don't have shulker boxes yet. So a mule was just like, it's just like a shulker box with legs, which was pretty sweet. So I filled up the mule with sand and I grabbed some terracotta and it was great. It was great. I love the mule. I don't have a name for him yet, but I'll come up with one. While gathering sand and terracotta, I also found a desert temple, and I knew that there was the suspicious sand, like the dig site in the desert temples, but I forgot to bring a brush, so I couldn't really do anything about it. But we did get another notch apple. Not that it, you know, I'm never going to use it, but we found one, so that's cool. Alright, so I've done it. Village is gone. Well, except for these little shacks, but I think I'm just gonna keep them for now, and those farms, we'll replace them. We've got the villager breeder up. There's some bebes in here. We don't need them quite yet. The one guy we did leave died, so we're using both of our fishermen. It's not that big of a deal. We just come up here, throw them some food. They make babies, And yeah, they fall down here. And I'll get a collection system. The rail runs through, pops them out. And I've actually already decorated the bee farm. And yeah, so we're gonna have to talk about the base a little bit because some things have definitely changed. So I still want to redo the village. So my plans for the village are that I'm going to... The paths on the agenda, scratch it off. Pretend you never saw it. We're not doing that anymore. It's done. I will, just not today. This village, I'm going to redo all of the villager houses in my own style, make them look cool, look good, and then put the villager that corresponds to the type of house that we make inside of it, instead of having just one big trading hall. Is it as efficient? No. Is it more interactive? Is it cooler? Is it... Yes, it is. So that's what we're going to do for villagers in this village. So I'll be spending some time in creative worlds, building houses and things like that, so that we can bring them over here, build them here, and yeah, that's going to be really fun. And that's what we're absolutely doing next episode, because I'm not even wearing my diamond armor because I'm afraid it's going to break. My tools are all very low and I'm tired of just combining them with other tools. So yeah. As far as the base goes, I know I said, or I thought it, I don't know if I ever expressed it, but I wanted to have like towers coming out or stuff coming out of the side. I built that staircase to go down and to go up, and then we had that other thing going that way, but that's not happening anymore. Honestly, the way that I felt about this base is that I really just dislike it a lot. I was so excited to just build a base that I didn't really think about it and just started placing blocks. Now I'm locked into this block set that I don't really like, and I didn't know how to really transition from this to something I did like when this is so numeric and structured that I had to follow. Make sure that, ignore that, I'm not ready to show you yet. I gotta make sure that this pillar lines up with this pillar, and this pillar has gotta line up with this pillar. Oh wait, it doesn't. Oh, we're at a gap here. So now I've got to build out this exterior wall. I don't like being locked into a rule set like that, which you should have rules when you build, but that's a little too much for me. So what we have here, this is as big as this base gets. Other than the fact that I might like rip this out, have a staircase go down, and I'm not going to decorate it. I'm just going to fill it with chests, label them, because our stuff is getting very full and I'm having to use other chests. And I'm getting new blocks that I didn't have previously, and now I don't have chests for them. Such as concrete, I had to make a terracotta chest, so I just got rid of the armor chest and combined it with this chest. And there's plenty of other things like that, right? So that's the plan for the base and the village. Let's show you this. In building, I wanted to make, obviously I already explained what the plans were. As I was thinking of how to connect this to this in a structured manner, or maybe even if I didn't want it to be structured, to transition, I was like, how do I even transition from like this to here and then smooth it out so that it looks fine over here and it's not an awkward transition from there to there, or I don't know. And then I was thinking, you know, I could make like an archway here and kind of make it diagonal. And then I just thought, what if I just made a bee nest, have a beehive? So that's what I did. And honestly, I'm really, really happy with this. So we've obviously got a bunch of different yellows. The idea is that this is kind of like the entrance, you know, this is the big hole that you see on a beehive, but beehives are kind of portrayed incorrectly. They don't look like this. This is not what a beehive looks like. Obviously this is not a beehive. This is a honeycomb block, but typically you see this kind of texture portrayed for beehives, but that's not the case at all. They're not even that yellow. They're this color. Like this is what a beehive looks like. So we've kind of got this as like the outside of the beehive wrapping around. So this is like the exterior. And then as you go in, we have more and more honey and honeycombs. And yeah, we just have all of our stuff showing up in here. We do run out of bottles because I don't have a lot of glass yet. And then we've got this door here. And this is how we can access it. You can see I left it exactly as it was. That stuff I dug out over there, it's just, we're gonna forget it, pretend I never did it. Just forget this. This doesn't exist anymore. Right now, this is it. We've got the yellow concrete powder. I just kept it as powder because I really like how the texture looks in here. I think it looked a lot better than just concrete. Yellow wool, obviously. Yellow terracotta. And then yellow glazed terracotta. I just sprinkled in a little bit because I think it looks really good. And then the stripped bamboo. I think that looks really cool because of these. Like, it kind of looks like in a beehive, you know, where they like put the eggs and stuff. That's kind of what this looks like, I think. So, you know, you can use your imagination, and it's a nice color, the texture does not blend with the other stuff at all, but the color is a nice transition from going in. Like your eye, like you don't, it doesn't pop out too much when you look at this. When I was building this, I was like, oh, what if I had the literal beehives, like this one, this kind of beehive right here. If I had these kind of scattered throughout here, they would drip honey and it would just blend in and look really cool. I don't think I know how to get them anymore. Like, I thought that the best way to get them was to grow birch trees in a flower forest. So that's what I did. I did like a whole stack of birch saplings and I didn't get a single one. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. If you know, please tell me, because I thought that's how you did it. I mean, look at all this birch. I did like a stack of saplings, just bone mealing, growing, chopping, bone mealing, growing, and I couldn't get any. So I have no idea how that works. But yeah, for now, that's all I have time for. In between videos, I will be working on the villagers, which is not very fun, but it's very necessary right now. So that's pretty much what the next video is gonna be. It's just literally just me doing villagers, and well, I'll try and find something else that's not just villagers, because that's really boring. I'll probably start some of the building process. For now, I think most of it's gonna be empty. I want to get the functionality down before I start doing the building, because I need my tools and armor to be up to shape again. I feel like I went too fast, so I was like kitted out, but I wasn't at the same time, and now I'm back to this stage. I should have like fully committed, gotten my stuff done, but you know what? I'm having fun, and that's all that matters. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know the spiel. If you liked the video, it helps me out a lot. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.